world changes soon. Can get a doobie on a plane, but there's Uzis in our schools. Every dude who touched a boob or a booty getting me tooed. What you expect from the kids who went to Hooters after school? We're all triggered and defensive. We're all racist and we're sexist. We all grew up watching South Park. How are we offended? Now being fat is beautiful. Name a thing that you can't do. Jumping jacks, run a mile, live past 42. Man, it used to be cool to
Welcome to the Red Pill Sports and Entertainment Show. I am your host, Albert Apache, and as usual, brought to you by Open Source Self-Defense, Fitness, and Grappling. Okay, guys, I wanted to talk a little bit about ADCC, West Coast Trials, and everything that transpired there, all of the results. So, let's first start taking a look at the 66 kilogram division. Here's the reality, guys. There was not a ton of surprise here in the final match. Keith Krogorian versus Cisneros in the final match. This was a 1 seed and a 3 seed facing off. So not a whole lot of surprises there. Keith did finish with a submission. Throughout Keith's run, he was one of the guys that I was very interested in watching. So I did watch a few Krogorian matches. And throughout Krogorian's matches, you did see him use some of the things that we saw in the breakdown in his run at Combat Jiu-Jitsu, the lightweights. And we talked about how he used switching modes and switching games, going from attacking the top of the body to the back to attacking legs, going from offense to defense and flowing through those transitions. And you saw some of that on his run here at the West Coast Trials. If you watch some of his matches, you'll see how he was attacking the legs at times, got guys completely involved in defending legs and used that to crawl up to the back, take their back, choke them out, or get points. I was also super interested in, of course, watching my coach, Esteban Martinez. He's been one of my coaches throughout the time I've trained jiu-jitsu. And, of course, he's a good friend of mine. So I was super interested in watching him compete. And, you know, he did well. He made it to the round of 16. Didn't make it to the quarterfinals, but looked really, really good, really, really strong. And hopefully Este will perform a little bit better. I'm not going to pretend like I watched every single match in the 66 kilogram. I mean, it was a ton of jiu-jitsu, guys. If you don't know, if you've never watched the ADCC West Coast Trials, it was a ton of matches, somewhere around 1,000 competitors this year. So it was quite full. Next, let's move on to the 77 kilogram division. Now here we had a little bit more interest at the end of the road. We had William Tackett, the number 1 seed, no surprise there. But we had Varela making a number 15 seed, making it to the finals. This was a battle, guys. This was a very fun match to watch. Varela being a bracket buster, so to speak, you know, a number 15 seed, taking the hard road, if you will, you know, to get to the finals, beating Barch in the semifinals. I really want to go back. He's one of the guys I want to go back and look at the road he took to get to the finals and see what we can learn from that, because I think that there's always a lot to learn when you see guys that you didn't expect to be in the final make the finals. So this was a very interesting set of matchups, and I thought it was quite fun. The 77 kilogram weight division. I didn't watch all of William Tackett. I watched a couple of matches of his. I did watch a couple of Barch matches. And of course, I did watch the final. Again, if you have a chance, guys, if you have the time on Flow Grappling, you really should go through and watch that road to the final. It was really entertaining. Great match at the end. Outstanding job by Tackett. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and move on to the 88 kilogram division. Now, this is again where we saw some very interesting ending to this particular bracket. You had Jay Rodriguez, little brother of Nicky Rodriguez, J Rod and Nick Rod, the B team, showing up in the final. Now, I believe Jay only has trained jiu-jitsu for just over a year or so. He was a 13 seed coming in, so very, very interesting here. Going up against Colvin, and the reality is that it was a really good match. I thought Jay was going to get slammed at one point in time. He did end up finishing the match with a buggy choke. He threw it up twice. He finished it on the second time he threw it up. The first time he threw it up, I really thought he was going to get slammed as his opponent stood up with him. And we had seen earlier in the West Coast trials, the day previous, the first day of competing, we did see somebody get basically knocked out from being slammed. They had a buggy choke on, they got slammed, and they were put out. It was just crazy. Now, really quick, let me talk about that. First, of course, going to take a look at the J-Rod path to the final. I really want to do that. But secondly, want to talk about some of the discussion I'm seeing online and things of that nature about ADCC, maybe taking a look at whether or not you could slam out of buggy choke submissions. Here's the thing. The buggy choke is not the holy grail of submissions, in my opinion. And I just don't understand how it would be any different than any other submission. Either you have to allow slams to escape submissions, and that's all submissions, or it's no submissions. The buggy choke isn't special, right? The fighter always has the opportunity to bail on the technique if they feel they're being elevated higher than they would like to. All right, moving on to the 99 kilogram division. Again, not a whole lot of surprise here. We got a 4 seed and a 3 seed, Gonzalez and Ardilla. I guess in Spanish I would say, well, I guess it's not a double L, but I would generally say this guy's name, Ardilla. Looks like they made the finals. I'm going to be honest, did not watch a ton of the 99 kilogram matches. This particular match I did watch because it was the final, and it was okay. Not my favorite match throughout the entire evening, but it was a good match. I was really stoked. I put this match on because I was really stoked to watch all of the finals, but in particular, I did want to get to the 99 plus, the super heavy, because we had Kyle Boeing in the final. And if you're not familiar with Kyle, let me tell you a little bit about this guy. He is a giant. I mean, this guy is a big guy, yet he moves so technical and he is so extremely nimble. I watched this guy in a couple of Submission Underground matches, and just the way he moves, he's so big, he is so strong. He is almost the cartoony kind of version of what you would think if somebody said, hey, draw me the prototypical military guy who could beat everybody up. That's what I think of when you say Kyle Boeing. Now, all that being said, super technical. He has an amazing leg lock game, and so I was stoked to see what he was going to bring to the table, particularly considering he was facing a 14 seed from New Wave Jiu-Jitsu, a blue belt, 14 seed, fought his way yet another bracket buster. So I think there was something like 3 bracket busters in ADCC this year, which is fantastic to me. What that really shows me is that the talent pool is becoming extremely, extremely deep. So I don't really know how to say the guy's name. I think they were pronouncing it on the telecast as Manasau. But I was interested to see what he would have for Kyle, because like I said, Kyle has very technical leg locking skills. I think his leg locking skills are on par with all of the best guys that you would think of that are leg lockers. Craig, Ryan, Lachlan, right? I really feel like his leg lock game is up there. Super technical, big guy, strong, explosive. So good. So I was really interested in seeing what this blue belt could bring to face Kyle. And it was a pretty decent match. A little bit of back and forth early on, but Kyle Boehm did get the win. So all in all, not too much of an upset. But again, this blue belt got to go through, watch what he used in his road to the final, how he got to the final, what things that he changed maybe from day 1 to day 2, and what his game plan was to get there. Because you're talking about a couple of guys here, a blue belt and of course J-Rod, both not having a ton of experience, but making it to the finals, one winning the finals at the ADCC, West Coast Trials. So really want to take a look at that and see what were their strategies and start breaking down some of the things maybe we see in common across all of these bracket busters. All right, guys. Well, that's all I have. So please remember, like, subscribe, comment down below whether you agree, you disagree, if there's any other matches that you want me to break down from the ADCC West Coast Trials. And that's all I got, guys. So remember, till next time, be practical, be purposeful, get fit with a purpose, guys.
We're all triggered and defensive. We're all racist and we're sexist. We all grew up watching South Park. How are we offended? Now being fat is beautiful. Name a thing that you can't do. Jumping jacks, run a mile, live past 42. Man, it used to be cool to just flip a bird to the system, and now it's trendy to be triggered and pretend you're a victim. It's my race, it's my weight. It's because I'm a Christian. I hate the internet and anyone who has an opinion. And everybody angry if you say white. Okay, fine. Pass me the brush and I'll paint my face to the shades right. Let's talk about abortion. Sorry, tell me how this works. Bacteria is life on Mars, but a heartbeat isn't life on Earth? Weird. You're so stupid.